So the other day, I was wearing my high heels in my house, and I was walking around. I just thought I looked really good, and I don't know. I was kind of trying to ask everybody to be acceptant and call me Jimothy. What was that?
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about right now.
What do you mean? I was talking about when I was walking around in dressed as a girl at home.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
What? Yeah, dude, I texted you about it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you fucking didn't, dude.
Who the fuck did I text?
Probably your fucking mom, dude.
Wow, that's fucked up. What the fuck's wrong with you?
All right. So we're going to do the... hold on 1 second. We are broadcasting live on Twitter.
We're on
now.
Periscopes.
Yeah. My head looks really big.
Big head.
Oh, dude, my fucking beard looks enormously gray, too.
You know what they say? A black and mild day keeps the rednecks...
At bay?
No, it keeps them coming.
All right. So we got James here. We got Fake Jaime Mike here. And what's up? I'm Jake. This is Drake of the Theory podcast.
Yeah. This time you did the intro. Look at that.
Yeah, I feel like a big boy now. We're just going to do a little thing on Periscope here. We're going to tell everyone. Nobody's watching, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
We're going to tell everyone what is this? Episode 13 is going to be about.
Yeah, man. Incels rise up.
What's that mean? I don't understand.
Do you know what an incel is?
No, you're going to explain it.
Okay, so an incel is like, it's basically a funny way of saying someone's a fucking virgin, dude.
Oh, really? Virgins rise up. Show me your boobies.
I just want to... It's more than that, man. Let me tell you about incels. So incels are basically people who try to get laid but can't get laid. That's because it means, you know what a celibate is, right?
That's terrible.
You know what a celibate...
There's people that can't get laid.
Because they suck at getting laid.
Oh, okay.
Well, anyway, so...
I'm pretty sure there a while back, Joe Rogan had talked about it on the podcast and gave suggestions on how not to be one.
Anyway, so
really?
so incels...
Wow.
So incel is basically like a virgin nerd who like can't fucking get laid for shit, and he like blames the world for the fact that he can't get laid.
That's terrible.
So yeah, and a lot of them are fucked up.
Well, they'll be able to get robots soon.
Yeah.
Fuck all day. Yeah, so we're on Twitter. Nobody, by the way.
Nobody. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for all the fucking support, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, dude? Any of you who donated to Patreon, fuck you guys, too. Because there's nobody who donated.
Yeah. we don't
have one.
Yeah, we don't have one.
Because, you know what? We're honest here. We're honest, and we're not shills. But we will be in a couple weeks.
Hopefully. So, yeah. Oh, the song. People on Twitter.
Yeah, the intro song here.
People on Twitter there, you didn't get to hear the intro song, which is really, really awesome song. The song.
Rise Up.
Wow, you're all about that.
Because I am one. No, I'm kidding.
Can I give props to this band?
Go ahead, fucking go.
Okay, the song is it's called Crowley in a Bush.
Crowley in a Bush. Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
And that's a band called Barbara's Secret. And it's from the album Evil Doers.
Nice. They sound pretty metal, man.
Evil Doers, yeah. So that's that. Why don't you say what we're going to talk about here today?
All right, guys. We're going to talk about how you can be better politically correct at life. And, you know, you can you learn how to be a little bit more sensitive, you know, show more respect to people of color and to other people who really deserve your respect. I think that we should all just kind of get down on our hands and knees as white people, and we should all just worship everybody else and just die off.
What the fuck, dude?
I'm kidding. Anyway, yeah, we're talking about Aleister Crowley today. This is gonna be a weird episode. What? What? What's the problem?
Holy fuck.
What?
give you mad props for getting through that whole thing. You didn't even break a smile.
Wow.
Dude,
Wow.
that's what acting class gets you in high school, bro. I can say a lot of things without fucking cracking a smile.
Yeah.
And that's how good I am at lying. I don't lie often, but the thing is that
But you when you have
when
to.
I have to, I'm
Yeah.
really good at it. But because like I can say whatever without looking like I'm guilty.
Yeah, but you know what? He's the most honest motherfucker there is. Because how many times in the morning when we're done, I'm standing there trying to lie to management. I'm trying to lie about
I'm
shit.
so sorry.
I'm trying to lie about shit, like to sugarcoat everything. And this motherfucker's like, yeah, but fucking and he's like telling him the truth. I'm just like, whatever.
Well, why don't you tell me ahead of time? Hey, man, I'm not gonna say what that.
Well,
Dude, 'cause-
you already know how managed it is. You should
Because
just
most
know.
mornings I fucking
That's because
gotta
I don't lie. I rarely ever lie. When I have to, I'm very good at it. Very, very good at it. But I don't do it very often.
All those people do is lie to you. Why wouldn't you lie?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Because what's the fucking point? You know what? I hope they get angry because there's fucking 500 million pieces in the back room and they have to throw it all. Fuck them then.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna duck off a Periscope here because nobody is watching.
Okay.
Okay. And then we can get on with the show.
You know what they say.
Maybe at the end of the show here we'll Periscope again so nobody can watch.
You know what they say. Periscope once, shame on you. Periscope
Periscope
twice,
twice.
shame on them. All.
Bush, same on George Bush.
Yeah. He did 9/11. That guy.
Yeah, he did. He did a lot.
So
more
speaking
than,
of
he did
9/11
cocaine.
Speaking of
How do
9/11,
I shut
Aleister
this-
Crowley.
How do I shut this off?
I don't know. You press some fucking buttons, dude. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Swipe down to stop.
Oh, yeah. Before I forget, because we got to this, I almost forgot. One more thing about Twitter. Should we talk about her?
Oh yeah. That's all you, buddy.
Should we talk about her?
You got your own Bob Becky.
Okay. Let's take a look at her. So I want to go ahead and do a shout out to Lissa T. Rogers at Lissa T. Rogers. Honestly, a great person. Go check out her fucking blog with like 600 views or something like that. She's really cool. She says a lot of she has really good humor. Like if you really like really generic, stupid female humor, definitely go check her out. Like I'm sure, honestly, it's like, she's like kind of like a great value Amy Schumer, I'm sure. Go check her out on fucking Twitter at Lissa Townsend. Lissa Rogers, I'm sorry. Lissa T. Rogers. Go check out her blog. It's craptacularblogspot.com. It's just great. If you want to burn your eyes out because of the hot pink fucking font on black background, it's really fucking, it just looks so fucking good. So go ahead and check her out. Anyway, onwards with our topic. Yeah, so it's my topic of choice this week. It's episode 13. So I thought on special occasion, because 13 is a number associated with the occult and Satanism, I was like, what the fuck should I talk about this week? And I spent all week not thinking about it. The whole week, I was like, I'm going to do something about number 13. And then on Friday, I decided, and then I didn't do research until Saturday, aka yesterday. So yeah. I was like, you know what? We're doing Aleister Crowley. And I jumped into a pool of shit here because, you know what? I was like, whatever. I'm sure I can run by this guy. He's just like every, cult leader. You know, I can just, gather up the info and then say a story. No, there couldn't be too much there. And I jumped into a shitstorm without really thinking about it. This guy's been fucking everywhere. He's done everything. And this is going to be really hard to talk about and try and fucking compound it into something that's less than 2 hours. So pray for me.
Before you get started there, speaking of 13 and freaky shit, I've had a story I wanted to fucking tell you guys all week, but I was saving it for this. So
13 hookers. Go on.
I wish. So yeah, me and Jake, we had a relative die the other day, last week, whatever, and I went to his viewing there on Wednesday, and you know how I had told you before that Stan was the first person to ever tell me about Nibiru. Nibiru, however the fuck you say
Oh,
it.
Nibiru.
Yeah, Planet X.
Yeah, Planet X.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I'm up there at his fucking casket doing the thing, right?
Yeah.
I said to him like, "Yo, so Stan, if this like heaven and shit exists, and, yo, give me a sign about if Nibiru is real or not." And the candle next to it fucking blew out.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
Yeah, freaked me the fuck.
You know what would have been
out.
even crazier?
Oh my God.
If in that very moment Nibiru crashed into Earth.
Dude, it freaked me the fuck.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I guess that's the
kinda
sign,
fucked up.
huh?
That's fucked up.
huh?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah,
Maybe he's on Nibiru right now.
I had the text all written out and everything to tell you guys about it. I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
fuck say
I don't even know how to feel about that.
Yeah, so I don't mean to undermine your story, but I don't believe in Nibiru.
Well, I don't know if I do either.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy story.
They're all crazy though.
Well, no, but that one's like that's like if you were to take a flat earther and then put him on heroin.
Wow.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
that's what a fucking. I'm sorry to say.
Probably make it round for them.
Oh, hey, I follow on Twitter. I followed a hardcore flat earther.
Whatever, dude. He can believe whatever the fuck he wants as long as he doesn't harm society.
So, yeah, that's my story. So, back to Crowley.
Yeah, so Aleister Crowley, we're gonna fucking talk about him. I did the research and I generally know his story. Honestly, I watched a 2-hour fucking listened to a 2-hour documentary and I know what he's done. But the problem here with me is that I'm gonna have to go through the fucking Wikipedia for all the names because there's so many fucking towns that he's been in, so many places, and so many people he's interacted with. I have no idea how I'm gonna remember all of these fucking names, dude. And it's gonna be like I'm gonna have to run through here, and there's gonna be hiccups where I'm like, hold on, I need to look up this name real quick on the Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So I'm just warning you. There's gonna be some dead spots in my audio, so you guys might have to pick that up while I'm fucking thinking about it.
Yeah. I'll just make fart noises or something.
Wow, that's retarded.
Okay. You just did.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. Let's hear about the great Aleister Crowley.
Okay, let's
beast.
start talking about his early life. His early life isn't very fucking significant. I'm gonna be real with you. Up until his father dies, so I'm just gonna kind of rush through this like super early part. So his father, he was named after his father. Aleister Crowley's original name, if you didn't know, was Edward Alexander Crowley. He was named after his father. His father was a Protestant, but he was part of like this sect of the Protestant church, which was super duper fucking strict, like crazy, like the Bible literally means this and you can't interpret it any other way.
Yeah.
So they were like, whoa, fucking crazy.
Hardcore.
Yeah. And he was named after his father. So his father was Edward Crowley, but we'll call Aleister. We won't call him by his early name, so we'll just call him Aleister.
Okay.
So his father, Edward Crowley, was like he was a rich guy. He owned a family brewing business. He had a lot of money. They had a lot of money. They were rich as fuck, actually. But I think his father also did like sermons and shit like that. So he used to go around. Yeah, they were evangelical Christians. And I'm trying to look up his father here. His father, his father was born a Quaker. His father was a Quaker. Did you know that?
Wow.
Huh. Wow, this guy is fucking mixed in with everything. His Christian fundamentalist group was known as the Plymouth Brethren. So his father was a traveling preacher, actually. Yeah. I thought so. I just want to make sure that was right. Yeah. So his father was a fucking traveling preacher. So they used to go around, and Aleister was actually, I guess, a bit of a fan of his father. He didn't like his father. He just looked up to him. Yeah. He had respect for him. And Aleister wanted to be a... I shared a video, and they Okay, I'll address that later. So, fucking, Aleister really respected his father, and he actually wanted to be a Christian crusader. Like, not like a knight. He wanted to, like, spread the message of Christ. Yeah. He was like crazy about it. And that stands out to me because that's important for later. That goes to show that he was heavily into the fucking spiritualism, even if he was on what some would consider the right path at the time. So, Aleister's father there, Edward, he eventually died, I guess, on kind of like on the road doing and Aleister didn't like his mother very much. And after his father died, he kind of went off the deep end. And Aleister started really going fucking nuts, and he started being like real fucking bad. And I'm trying to read here. Yeah, you know, when Aleister was 11, his father died of tongue cancer, and Crowley describes
tongue cancer.
Yes.
Huh.
Crowley described this as a turning point in his life, and he always maintained an admiration for his father, describing him as my hero and my friend. Inheriting a third of his father's wealth, he began misbehaving at school and was harshly punished by Champney. Crowley's family removed him from the school when he developed albuminuria, which is a pathological condition wherein the protein albumin is abnormally present in the urine. It is a type of proteinuria. What the fuck? It's a major plasma protein. In healthy people, only trace amounts of it are present in urine, whereas larger amounts occur in the urine patients with kidney disease. So basically a kidney disease. But he recovered from that. And that's when he picked up fishing and mountaineering to become healthier again. And it worked. He ended up being better. But, yeah, he went to a bunch of different schools and colleges, and he actually left after a couple terms. He became increasingly skeptical regarding Christianity, pointing out inconsistencies in the Bible to his religious teachers, and went against the Christian morality his upbringing by smoking, masturbating, and having sex with prostitutes from whom he contracted gonorrhea.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Now we're getting somewhere. Fucking prostitutes.
This was in his relatively early life. He was still like a kid at this point. And I think he was 15 when he had sex with his first prostitute.
Well, back then, were prostitutes just like laying all over the streets and shit?
Not all over the streets, but
yeah.
But at one point, Crowley actually came back down, and he was doing. Well, this is when he was doing his chess, poetry, and mountain climbing. This was in 1894, and he climbed Beachy Head. Is a chalk headland in East Sussex, England. Yeah, so he did a lot of mountain climbing and shit like that. And then he visited the Alps and joined the Scottish Mountaineering Club. The following year, returned to Bernese Alps, climbing the Eiger, Trift, Jungfrau, Monch, and Wetterhorn. So he eventually calmed the fuck back down when he was doing all this chess and mountain climbing. But you know, as we know, he goes back off the fucking deep end. Yeah. And it's during this time actually that he starts researching into people who were like into the occult. This is when I think he was starting to research into that shit. So yeah, I'm looking into this now. So, Cambridge University. This is when Aleister went to Cambridge, having adopted the name Aleister over Edward. Yeah, this is when he changed his name. He changed his name to Aleister from Edward. This is when he officially became Aleister Crowley. So, he got rid of his name Edward. So, in October 1895, Crowley began a 3-year course at Trinity College, Cambridge, where he was entered for the Moral Science Tripos, studying philosophy. With approval from his personal tutor, he changed to English literature, which was not part of the curriculum offered. Crowley spent much of his time in the university engaged in his pastimes, becoming president of the chess club and practicing the game for 2 hours a day. He briefly considered a professional career as a chess player. Crowley also embraced his love of literature and poetry, particularly the works of Richard Francis Burton. Fuck me. God damn it. Sorry, I hit my cigar. And Percy Bysshe Shelley? I don't know who that is. But many of his own poems appeared in the student publications such as the Granta, Cambridge Magazine, and Cantab. He continued his mountaineering, going on holiday to the Alps.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go on.
But before you get beyond his poems, can I please just read one of his poems?
You want to read Celia Farts?
Yep,
I figured. Go ahead, read Celia Farts.
Okay, this is Aleister Crowley's poem, When Celia Farts.
Yeah.
When Celia comes, 'tis earthquake hour, the bed vibrates like kettle drums. It is a grand display of power when Celia comes. When Celia farts, my hasty nose... When Celia farts, my hasty nose sniffs up the fragrance from her pants. Shamed are the violets and the rose when Celia farts. And up exhales a greasy stench, for which you curse the careless wench. I can't even fucking finish this, dude. Oh my God. So things which must not be expressed when plummet into the reeking chest. Send up an extramental smell to take the parts from whence they fell. The petticoats and gown perfume which waft a stink round every room, thus finishing his grand
this
survey.
is a lot longer than I thought it was.
Disgusted Stefan stole away, reciprocating in his enormous fits. Oh, Cecilia, shits.
Wow.
Aleister Crowley. That got me.
What a masterpiece.
That got me. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Well, anyway, continuing, he continued his mountaineering, going on holidays to the Alps to climb every year from 1894 to 1898, often with his friend Oscar Eckenstein, who I believe is very important later down the line. Yeah, I think he was more important down the line too. I think he might have been involved with the occult. And in 1897, I keep flipping the numbers. In 1897, he made his first ascent of the Mont without a guide. These feats led to his recognition in the alpine mountaineering community. So as you can see, he was actually a big-time mountaineer. When I hear people talk about him, people don't really bring up the fact that he was a crazy mountaineer person. Like he was insane. Apparently, he was at the time top notch. Like know those people who climb Mount Everest all the time?
Yeah, he was crazy.
He was like one of those kind of guys. So he was heavily recognized in that, and I think that's how he got his contacts, because I think some people in the mountaineering community there were involved in the occult.
Yeah.
So, and that's how he got to know these people, and also through his poems. He had poetry, and he a lot of those explicit ones.
Yeah.
He posted anonymously overseas.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that because he actually would have gotten arrested for explicit nature, I think.
Something like that.
He would have gotten in big fucking trouble. And I'm reading this now. Crowley had his first mystical experience while on holiday in Stockholm in December 1896. Several biographers, including Lawrence Sutin, Richard Kaczynski, and Tobias Churton, believe that this was a result of Crowley's first same-sex sexual experience. Which this is more important later. I'm pretty sure Crowley was a pretty big homo. Like, Like I think like a lot of people are like they're commenting on his bisexuality here, because he did fuck a lot of women, but I think he secretly really wanted to fuck men.
Yeah, well, no, the one of the things I listened to on him, he actually had a relationship with a guy for a couple of years, but he made the guy do such weird sexual, like, and satanic shit.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, like
I forgot the guy's name.
He really, really fucked that guy up.
Are you talking about the guy he brought to Algeria?
Are
you talking about the guy he brought to Algeria into the desert, and then he gave him PTSD?
Yeah.
He gave him fucking PTSD by fucking
that's the
him?
guy.
Yeah. He stuck around with him after that too.
Yeah, well, that guy really, really loved him.
Yeah, and that guy also after he eventually split from Aleister Crowley, that guy commented. He said that they weren't in a sexual they didn't have a sexual partnership, and they weren't together.
Yeah.
He made sure to clarify on that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think they really did, but he was trying to be like, no, that's not how it was. It was just the magic. That was what we were doing.
Well, yeah. Well, back then you couldn't.
Yeah, I know, but they were clearly embarrassed. So, whatever. So, I'm trying to get to the part. Yeah, Crowley traveled to St. Petersburg, Russia, after claiming that he was trying to learn Russian as he was considering future diplomatic career there, biographers Richard Spence and Tobias Churton suggested that Crowley had done so as an intelligence agent under the employ of the British Secret Service, speculating that he had enlisted while at Cambridge. I'm trying to... Fucking hell, I can't... Yeah, I'm trying to get to the important part, because I'm trying to get to the Golden Dawn part. So basically, during his time at Cambridge, he did a lot of, like... He fucked a lot of prostitutes. Here, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fucking shorten this for you guys. During his time at Cambridge, he fucked a lot of prostitutes, played a lot of chess, and fucking did a lot of mountaineering.
Yeah.
That's all he did, essentially, at Cambridge. And eventually, I don't know if he ever passed Cambridge. I don't know if he ever, like, actually graduated Cambridge. But in July 1898, he left Cambridge, not having taken any degree at all. Yeah, so he didn't even claim a degree at Cambridge. Yeah. He just attended there for a while. So after that, though, this is when, from what I understand, is that even when he was at Cambridge, he was starting to get interested in the idea of magic and these secret societies, and that's when he got. I think he had heard about the Golden Dawn at this point. And this is where he joins in 1898.
The Golden Dawn?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, the Golden Dawn.
Dawn. Okay.
Yeah.
No, dong. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I thought you said dong.
Okay. So, in August 1898, Crowley was in Zermatt, Switzerland. And guys, I'm going to be reading a lot off of this Wikipedia to keep this shit as organized as possible. Because there's a lot of fucking info. So I'm trying to keep this put together, I guess you could say. So Crowley was in Zermatt, Switzerland, where he met the chemist Julian L. Baker, and the two began discussing their common interest in alchemy. And by the way, Julian L. Baker, I believe, was a self-proclaimed alchemist. And I don't know if science, like the term science, was prevalent back then. Because at one point, I think they were using the term alchemy as the word science for a time.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but it sounds from this point of view, the term alchemy is like, yeah, alchemy is the philosophical and proto-scientific tradition practiced throughout Europe. So like it wasn't even their science was a thing back then, but this guy was a self-proclaimed like alchemist, which was clearly it's like I guess what would be considered like a magical scientist. And back
like Dumbledore.
Yeah, I guess. Back in London, Baker introduced Crowley to George Cecil Jones. George Cecil Jones, if you don't know, was a British chemist, occultist, one-time member of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, and co-founder of the Magical Order AA, which is later. That's prevalent later. That's one of Crowley's things as well. Baker's brother-in-law and fellow member of the occult society known as the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which had been founded in 1888. Wow, it was pretty young. It was only like 10 years old at that point. All right, well, I didn't know that.
What?
It was only 10 years old by the time Crowley joined.
The dong.
Yeah, it was only 10 years old. It was formed in 1888. Wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty... I didn't know that. Crowley was initiated into the Outer Order of the Golden Dawn on the 18th of November, 1898 by the group's leader Samuel Little McGregor. And Samuel Little McGregor was... dude, these names. Was a British occultist. He is primarily known as one of the founders of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, a ceremonial magic order of which offshoots still exist today. So his main thing was that he actually just straight up made the Golden Dawn. I don't know if he was prevalent for anything else. In fact, I'm gonna hit his page right now. Hold on, I'm reading.
I wonder if he banged prostitutes too. Like, I don't know. You had me at prostitutes.
Well, he was into Freemasonry. He was a Freemason.
Uh-oh.
A whole nother can.
Freemasons.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, this guy literally lived to be a fucking secret society guy. He doesn't... I don't even know. His occupation is occultist.
Wow, how do you get that occupation?
I don't know, because he clearly didn't do anything else other than do occult shit. What
do you do? Oh, I'm a fucking occultist.
Yeah.
I want that job.
Yeah. Well,
I wonder if you have a boss.
basically Crowley really buttered up these guys, and eventually he managed to wiggle his way in. I remember the story now. Is that they were actually skeptical of bringing him in at first, and I think it took a while. It took a little while for them to let him in, and when they initiated him, he had to do this whole speech thing where he had to vow to secrecy, and there's some other shit. Pretty eerie stuff, the things that they say in this little, like, entry speech. And I can't say... I don't know, man. You'll hear my fucking opinions of all this later, but... So going on, Crowley moved to his own luxury flat at 6769 Chancery Lane, and soon invited a senior Golden Dawn member, Alan Bennett, who was very close to Aleister Crowley. Okay, yeah, but who was Alan? I forget who this guy was. Bennett received a Bhikkhu. Bhikkhu. I remember that.
A what coup?
Bhikkhu. This is the guy that killed himself. He hung himself at the Buddhist as a Buddhist. He was a Buddhist monk, and then he eventually fucking killed himself.
Nice. Huh. A Buddhist.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he killed himself. I'm reading now.
Well, if you're gonna do it, that's the way to do it, is to kill yourself, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going with that.
Yeah, I was just fucking boof. Bennington me in the head and Bourdained me all over. I don't know.
It's insane. I'm pretty sure this is the guy that Aleister Crowley, he had gone back to try and talk to about some shit, and then he found him literally he hung himself or some shit.
Nice.
And there's an excerpt from Crowley where he said where he was laughing about it, where he literally said, "Oh, I opened his door and I found him hanging 5 feet from the floor."
Yeah, there was
like he thought it was funny.
Yeah, did you that story when he was fucking mountain climbing one time?
Where he let the people die?
He let the fucking people die.
Yeah,
they kind of turned their back on him then. Because that's like a no-no, I guess, if you're a mountain climber. You're like a...
well, you're supposed to help people.
It's like the rule of the road.
Yeah.
You know? Or the mountain. I don't know.
Anyway, he had Alan Bennett to live with him as his personal magical tutor. Oh, this is actually the guy. Yeah, this is the guy that taught him everything about magic. Yeah, that's right. Bennett taught Crowley more about ceremonial magic and the ritual use of drugs. This is the guy that was heavily into the opioids and the cocaine. And this guy was the Alan Bennett guy, he was heavily into the fucking coke. And he was worried about Aleister Crowley.
And you know what? Not to jump off topic, but I noticed, we all three of us, we always look back at, we're all about looking back at shit in the past, blah, blah, blah. Dude, one of the things I've realized looking into so much shit, like, we think drugs is like a today thing.
Oh, no.
No. I never do.
But no, I mean, like, it's really bad today.
Yeah.
Dude, it's been really bad for, like, a long, years, decades.
It just wasn't frowned upon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, I swear, every time we look into fucking something, whether it's 50 years ago or 100 years ago or 200 years ago, there's just drugs. There's drugs everywhere. And back then, you could have the drugs everywhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's, okay, you continue. I'm sorry.
Well, anyway, yeah, Bennett taught Crowley about the ceremonial magic and the ritual use of drugs, and together they performed the rituals of the Goetia. And Goetia is a practice that includes the conjuration of demons, specifically the ones summoned by the biblical figure King Solomon. The use of the term in English largely derives from the 17th century grimoire, The Lesser Key of Solomon. So that's what he was doing with Alan Bennett. So as you could see, Aleister Crowley, even within his first little cult secret society there, he was getting into the fucking Satanist shit. Now, then this has to kind of do with the magical paths. Dude, I don't even know if I want to talk about the magical paths because this just makes it all more complicated. But to give you guys a rundown, and I don't know if I have this 100% right, I might have it a little bit wrong because I'm just kind of saying this off the top of my head real quick.
Spitballing.
Okay, so there's 3 forms of magic right now that people know about. There's the right-hand path, the left-hand path, and chaos magic. Right-hand path is supposedly like good people magic, and you're not supposed to use magic willy-nilly, and you have to be a good guy, and you have to be like a celibate. Like, and you have to be like pretty much being a monk.
Yeah.
Left-hand path is like, I want to summon demons. I want to fucking cut people like the politicians nowadays. I want to fucking sacrifice people. Yeah. And I want to do evil things.
I want some fucking babies.
And
blood.
I want to sacrifice, and I want to bring about evil. That's what the left-hand path is.
Yeah.
And chaos magic is like, I want a girlfriend, so I'm gonna will that I'll get a girlfriend, and hopefully I get a girlfriend.
Wow.
Yeah, that's literally like chaos magic. Sorry, chaos magic guys out there, but it's kind of gay.
It worked for Ron. It worked for Ron Weasley. Fucking asshole.
I don't think that's the same thing. But,
it's not. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think this Gosha stuff, and there's this whole fucking thing too, and I don't think the Wikipedia is going to talk about it because this is the supernatural side. The reason before you summon the demons, you want to summon demons to impart your will on them, so that you can alter the universe into your personal needs, right?
Yeah.
So like if you want a fucking girlfriend, but the first thing you have to do, and it's ill-advised to summon demons without summoning your guardian angel. So you're supposed to summon the light powers first. So you have to do a ritual to summon your guardian angel, and Crowley had his own fucking guardian angel. I forget the fucking name of it too. He had a name for it, and it was prevalent for all of his years, and even. I forget what the fucking name of it was. It was like Iwaka or something shit like that. I don't fucking know.
He was fucking Ewok.
Hold on. I'm looking if I can even fucking find it, man. Hold on. Time to go to work soon. Not really, but so I'm trying to look if I can find its name. Because he literally had a name for it. Can't find it right now. Oh well. Whatever. Anyway, fucking point is though, is that he summoned his fucking guardian angel, and then he summoned demons, and then like apparently after this he fucking went insane. This is when like Crowley really started going crazy about the magic. After this moment, when he did the Gosha stuff, and that's not even the first crazy thing he did, because he did something else really fucking crazy that I think we get into a little bit later. I don't know if they talk about it or not. Fuck, I hope they do. Hold on. I don't think they talk about it. Anyway, I think he did this while he was in the Golden Dawn, and I think he scared Alan Bennett with this too, and he gave up halfway through, which is apparently a big no-no. If you start, you have to fucking finish it, right?
Yeah.
So what the fuck was that?
What was that? That was a new sound.
Oh, somebody messaged me. Oh, Jesus Christ, I have to turn my shit off. Sorry, guys, so disorganized. Just tune out already. Anyway. So fucking okay, so fucking he did this one big fucking I don't know if this has to do with the Goetia or not, the goat, and he started this. It's supposed to be like a 6-month long ritual where you're only supposed to eat bread and drink water. You can't have sex, which is already a problem for fucking Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be able to handle that shit.
And if you finish this, you have complete control over demons, supposedly. That's what this whole like thing is apparently like after you're done doing this, like boom, you're now like master of fucking demons. You know, you can control them with your mind. And he gave up halfway through. And supposedly by some people in his life there were like, yeah, after he did that, he never seemed the same. He was possessed. Like he got possessed by a demon. And, I mean, to be fair, after that, it wasn't just fucking hookers and mountain climbing. Like, after this, he just went off the fucking deep end completely. So, after that ritual. So, yeah. Crowley soon progressed through the lower grades of the Golden Dawn and was ready to enter the group's inner second order, which is like their super secret part. He was unpopular in the group. His bisexuality and libertine lifestyle had gained him a bad reputation, and he had developed feuds with some of the members, including W.B. Yeats. Yeet! And William Butler Yeats was an Irish poet and one of the foremost figures of the 20th century literature, a pillar of both Irish and British literary establishments. He helped found the Abbey Theatre, and his later years served as a senator of the Irish Free State for 2 terms. So he was a member of the Golden Dawn. And he apparently didn't get along with him. And when the Golden Dawn's London Lodge refused to initiate Crowley into the Second Order because he was in it with some fucking dude. I forget who he was. This guy was about to lose his like inner circle membership or some shit, and he used Crowley as a power move to stay in the group.
Yeah.
And he basically said, "Okay, I'll initiate you into the Second Order." And I'll do the fucking thing. And apparently when he went to go get his, like, official paperwork for that or whatever, they denied him of it. And then he pulled, like, a scheme where he took over the office. Crowley took over the fucking office. and then he got kicked out of the Golden Dawn after that.
Just fucking
Yeah.
Cult sounds more like a business than...
Yeah,
it kind of was. It was just...
It sounds like
it was a bunch of poets and a bunch of fucking, like...
fucking
It was a bunch of poets and occultists who didn't even do any occult shit. I don't even think they did. I think it's like being Knights Templar, where you were just a banker. You were just part of it. You're part of a group. You know what I mean? Not that the Knights Templar didn't do anything, but you get what I'm saying. Like some people were in the Knights Templar, I guess, just by association.
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of like the thing here. I think it was like a social status. You get what I mean? So like, oh, I'm a really popular poet, or I'm an artist, or some shit like that. And I'm very popular. Join the Golden Dawn, and now I have. It's kind of like how we have people who are in like elite secret societies in politics now.
Yeah.
So it's like the same fucking thing. It's like I don't even know if they do anything. I think they're just fucking in it because they can.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I was listening to this thing on the Freemasons.
Yeah.
And one guy who was an ex-member was talking about it.
Yeah.
And
I didn't even do anything.
he said he was trying to say the reason the secrecy is because when you go in and you have to do all these weird initiations, weird rituals, and they're so secret because nobody knows why the fuck they're doing them. And that's why they're secret.
Yeah.
Because if anyone ever asks, well, why the fuck you doing that? They don't have an answer.
Yeah.
They just do it because it's always been done.
Yeah.
And no one knows why.
Yeah, it's kind of similar. Well, yeah, eventually I think he got excommunicated from the Golden Dawn after that. I'm pretty sure he did. And I don't know. He was still into fucking occult though, as you know, and he gets into his own thing. But we'll move on now. And in 1900, Crowley traveled to Mexico via the United States, settling in Mexico City and taking a local woman as his mistress. Developing a love for the country, he continued experimenting with ceremonial magic, working with John Dee's Enochian invocations.
John Dee's nuts.
Damn it.
I beat you to it.
John Dee was an English mathematician, astronomer, astrologer, occult philosopher, and advisor to Queen Elizabeth I. He devoted much of his life to the study of alchemy, divination, and Hermetic philosophy. He was also an advocate of England's imperial expansion to the British Empire. Okay, so Enochian is the name often applied to an occult or angelic language, recorded in the private journals of John Dee and his colleague Edward Kelly in the late 16th century England. Kelly was a spirit medium who worked with Dee in his magical investigations. So John Dee's Enochian invocations. So those were his own ceremonial magic. He later claimed to have been initiated into Freemasonry, which I think is true. He actually, I think Crowley was a 33rd degree. I think he was a 33rd degree Mason.
Crowley was?
Yeah, he was a 33rd degree Mason.
Was he really?
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Because he got initiated by people and then he rose the ranks. He rose up through the ranks. I don't remember how exactly. I don't remember. It's funny because I listened to this documentary. I was listening to a 2-hour-long documentary, and there was so much information crammed into it that I have a hard time putting it all together because there was so much fucking information, and that's why I'm reading off of this fucking Wikipedia page because there was so much fucking jammed into it that my brain is just. There is so much information to take in that I have to read off this Wikipedia to help organize this.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like a douchebag because I feel like I didn't do any work, but I really did honestly listen, and I just felt confused listening to it because there was so much shit going on.
Well, he jumps all over the fucking world.
And he fucks different people.
Dude.
And he does so much different shit, and he does it like this.
His life is a
He's
chaotic
just doing
mess.
it all the fucking time. And,
Dude, this would be trying to, like, explain, like, what a rock star does, his life.
Yeah. From beginning to end.
From beginning to
Yeah.
end. I mean, there's just... Because literally, he traveled the world like a fucking rock star.
He was a rock star, essentially.
Yeah.
He was popular. He was a pretty popular guy at the time. He was considered like a rock star.
Yeah.
He was 33rd degree.
Yeah.
Was he really?
Yeah, I figured. Anyway, while there, he wrote a play based on Richard Wagner's Tannhauser, as well as a series of poems published as oracles in 1905. Eckenstein joined him. Yeah, the guy that he used to climb with, Eckenstein.
Yeah.
Eckenstein joined him later that year, and together they climbed several mountains, including the Iztacha. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna need to press the Wikipedia page so I can pronounce this right. Okay. Let's press the button.
Did you press it?
Hold on, I gotta turn my.
Okay, sound turned off.
Iztaccíhuatl.
Okay, so never mind. I'm not even gonna try saying it. So that was the name of that. the Popocatépetl and the Colima, the latter of which they had to abandon, owing to a volcanic eruption. Okay. Spence has suggested that the purpose of the trip might have been to explore Mexican oil prospects for British intelligence. So there's a big thing there that Crowley might have been involved in British intelligence. Leaving Mexico, Crowley headed to San Francisco before sailing to Hawaii aboard the Nippon Maru.
Jesus Christ, he was there too?
On the ship, he had a brief affair with a married woman named Mary Elise Rogers, who I think is relevant later. He asked her for 500 pounds of money, like euros, whatever.
Yeah.
They weren't called euros back then; they were just pounds. So she wanted to get back with him, and he never got back with her, but he got 500 pounds off of her for free, basically. Saying he had fallen in love with her, he wrote a series of poems about the romance, published as Elise, an Adultery, in 1903.
What was her name again?
Mary Alice Rogers.
Oh, so she wasn't the fart one. She wasn't the fart poem.
She could have been.
Cecilia.
Could have been.
I don't know.
Briefly stopping in Japan and Hong Kong, Crowley reached Ceylon, where he met with Alan Bennett, that guy who was there studying Shaivism. Saivam. It's pronounced Saivam?
I have no clue.
What the fuck? I don't even know. It's one of the major traditions within Hinduism that reveres Shiva as the supreme being.
Shivism. Oh, fuck it. Forget it.
Dude, there's so many fucked up names. The followers of Shaivism are called Shaivites or Saivites. Like much of Hinduism, Shaiva have many sub-traditions ranging from devotional dualistic theism, such as Shaiva. What the fuck am I reading, dude? What the fuck am I reading? This is what I meant. This is literally what I meant. When I was listening to the goddamn documentary, I was like, what the fuck, dude? How am I gonna make a fucking episode out of this? Anyway, the pair spent some time in Kandy before Bennett decided to become a Buddhist monk in the Theravada tradition, traveling to Burma to do so. Crowley decided to tour India, devoting himself to the Hindu practice of Raja Yoga, from which he claimed to have achieved spiritual state of dhyana, which is in Hindu Buddhism, Jainism, means contemplation and meditation through their technical context is different. Dhyana is taken up through yoga exercises and leads to samadhi and self-knowledge. Well, apparently during this time also, what I remember is apparently, you know how yoga is supposed to be like this calming, like self-aware thing, whatever?
Yeah.
Apparently he figured out how to make yoga violent.
Violent yoga?
Apparently. Supposedly.
I wonder if Joe Rogan does that.
Counterintuitive?
Violent yoga.
I don't fucking know, man. All I know is my ass chakra is really hurting right now.
Your what?
My ass chakra.
What the fuck's that?
My root chakra. That comes where my balls are. Right where my taint is. I'm joking. I have no clue.
Okay.
He spent most of his time studying at the Meenakshi Amman Temple in Madura. At this time, he also composed and wrote poetry, which was published as The Sword of Song in 1904. He contracted malaria and had to recuperate from the disease in Calcutta and Rangoon. In 1902, he was joined in India by Eckenstein and several other mountaineers. Guy Knowles, H. Pfanel, V. Wesley, and Jules Jacot. Oh, God, what the fuck, dude, this name. How do you want me to remember these names? It's like, I might as well just say blah, 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 blah. They don't even say how to pronounce his name. He was some Swiss dude.
It doesn't even fucking.
Together, the Eckenstein-Crowley expedition attempted K2. K2 is also known as the Mount Godwin Austen or Chigori at 28,000 feet above sea level. So it's the second highest mountain in the world after Mount Everest. It is located on the China-Pakistan border between Baltistan and the Gilgit-Baltistan region, northern of Pakistan. Dude, these names are so fucked up. Dude, I didn't know what I was getting into here. I just want to go through Crowley's history, man, and then get to his end life. Which he had never climbed on the journey. Crowley was afflicted with influenza, malaria, and snow blindness, and other expedition members were also struck with illness. They reached an altitude of 20,000 feet, which is very respectable, actually, before turning back. Having arrived in Paris in November 1902, he socialized with friend and future brother-in-law, the painter Gerald Kelly, and through him became a fixture of the Parisian arts scene. Oh, Jesus Christ. I think this is where he learned how to do art, actually.
Oh, he's a fucking artist, too?
Well, yeah, he actually had some drawings.
This guy was a jack of all trades, but he was dog shit poor for most of his life.
No, he was actually really rich.
Yeah, but he blew through all that fucking money.
At the end, he did.
He blew through it all.
He did. Well, and this is where it gets important. You know what? I'm going to be real with you right now. I spent too much time talking about the stupid bullshit because I just want to talk about the Golden Dawn. I should have just talked about the Golden Dawn and got through all this stupid shit. Anyway, so this is where Thelema comes in and the Book of Law. This is fucking. This is Crowley's magnum fucking opus of fucking shit.
The Book of Law.
Yeah.
The Beast. 666.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, the Book of Law is pretty cool, from what I understand. I don't really like Crowley himself, but I like some of the things he proposed in the Book of Law.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to read it. I might listen to like an audiobook.
Oh.
At some point.
Oh, I was going to say, you're going to read the whole fucking book right now?
Fuck that, dude.
Because you just read a book.
Yeah, pretty.
And that's only like, what, a quarter of his fucking life?
Yeah. Actually, yes. You're just about right.
Did you say how he got thrown out of fucking Italy?
I don't think I got there yet.
Oh.
I don't think I got there yet.
So you just want to skip to that, or?
No, because this is the most important part. This is the Book of Law. This is where he went to fucking Cairo and went in the fucking... And he literally went in one of the fucking pyramids.
Oh, I thought that was after Italy.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In February 1904, Crowley and Rose, he married Rose Edith Kelly, and that was his wife, his Scarlet Woman, for a while.
Yeah.
And during their honeymoon, they went to Cairo, claiming to be prince and princess. They rented an apartment in which Crowley set up a temple room and began invoking ancient Egyptian deities while studying Islamic mysticism and Arabic. According to Crowley's later account, Rose regularly became delirious and informed him, "They are waiting for you." On 18th of March, she explained that they were the god Horus. And if you don't know who Horus is one of the most significant ancient Egyptian deities. He was worshipped from at least the late prehistoric Egypt until the Ptolemaic kingdom and Roman Egypt. Sorry, guys. I still have a cough. I'm still kind of a little bit sick. And on the 20th of March, proclaimed that the equinox of the gods has come. She led him to a nearby museum where she showed him the 7th century BCE mortuary stele, known as the Stele of Enk-F-Khonsu. F-N-Khonsu. These fucking names. Crowley thought
this is just fucking entertaining watching you fucking read this.
Crowley thought it was important that the exhibit's number was 666, the number of the beast. Which none of that, by the way, before we go further, and none of that's confirmed. That's his own fucking account. That's like taking not Marilyn Manson, sorry. That's like taking fucking Charles Manson seriously. Like taking everything he says seriously.
So the 666 thing's not real?
Well, no, I'm not saying it's not real, but I'm saying he himself claimed that it was important that the exhibit number that she found, the thing that had to do with Horus and shit, was number 666 in Christian, which is the number of the beast in Christian belief.
Okay, so that's not confirmed. Okay.
Well, that's his own.
Yeah.
And according to Crowley's later statement, he heard a disembodied voice that claimed to be Aiwas. This was his guardian angel.
Aiwas.
Yes, I was. Is the name given to the voice English occultist Aleister Crowley claimed to have heard on April 8th, 9th, and 10th in 1904, claimed that this voice was considered originated with a non-corporeal intelligence and dictated the Book of Law to him. So this is the thing that told him about the Book of Law and what spurred him to write about the Book of Law. That's during this time, for those like 3 or 4 days, he spent like an hour or two fucking writing pages of the Book of Law. And I think by the end of those 3 or 4 days, he actually stopped writing it, and then he was like, boom, he published it. Let me read a little bit about the Book of Law here. Okay, so the Book of Law here, and its original name being Liber Alveligis, is a central sacred text of Thelema, allegedly written down from the dictation mostly by Aleister Crowley, although his wife Rose Edith Crowley is also known to have written 2 phrases into the manuscript of the book after its dictation. Blah, 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 blah. The book contained 3 chapters. I want to know how many pages were in the book, if possible. I want to know how many pages were in the book. I'm trying to look up there. How many pages were in the Book of Law? I'm looking right now because he wrote it over 4 days, and he only spent like an hour or 2 writing it.
4 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't think it was very long.
I don't know. You probably write a lot of words in 4 days.
Okay, so there's 3 chapters. Chapter 1 is 22 pages. Chapter 2 is 22 pages, and chapter 3 is 21 pages. So that's 44. That's 65 pages. 65 pages. So it's not very big. He only spent a couple days writing it. And I don't know if he published it right away, but he formed the religion known as Thelema. And dude, I'm losing it. I'm losing steam because I looked up that Book of Law shit.
It's really bugging me. I can't remember who we mentioned in last week's episode. That was it Jack Parsons?
Yeah. It was Parsons.
Yeah.
The rocket guy.
Yeah. All right. I knew there was somebody.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna skip over this stupid shit where he went to fucking China. I'm serious. There's no point in me going into it.
Motherfucker went to China too.
He went to China twice.
Jesus.
Anyway,
He looked like he was everywhere, really.
so after he wrote the Book of Law, he did some stupid shit. And then in 1907 to 1909, that's when he formed the AA, which is like his own secret society. That was like his own Golden Dawn that he had with like a couple people. He didn't have very many people in it. And I think this had to do he wrote on top of the Book of Law. Like, he kept making, like, little publications about this, and he used the Book of Law as the basis for this. So, with his old mentor, George Cecil Jones, Crowley continued performing the Abramelin rituals. Ah, yes. This is what I was talking about, the Abramelin rituals. I think this is where he... Hold on, this is the one he did. This is the one he fucking did where he got fucked up. Yeah, this is the one he did where he tried not having any sex, and he did like only the bread and fucking water thing. The Abramelin rituals, which he was trying to get control of fucking demons at the Ashdown Park Hotel in Coldson. So, dude, Crowley claimed that in doing so he attained samadhi. It refers to a state of meditative consciousness. It's like, dude, what the fuck is this shit, dude? This is so fucked up. Oh my god, dude. There's so much shit here.
Got this, buddy.
Dude.
Was it when Cecilia farts?
No. This is just before he brings...
It's just before she farts.
It's just before she farts. Oh my god. What a fucked up poem that was, man.
This whole thing is fucked up because I'm trying... Victor Newberg. Victor Newberg is the guy he brought out. Yeah. This is where he brought in Victor Newberg. And now I just want to mention this. During this AA and the Holy Books of Thelema stuff, he met this guy named Victor Newberg, and where he and Crowley engaged in sadomasochism. They fucked each other. They fucked each other.
Wow.
Basically. But it was for magic. Don't worry, guys. It was magic. It was magic.
No homo, just magic.
Yeah. No, really. That's pretty much what they were doing. Like, no, dude, it wasn't gay. It was magic. And during this time, Crowley was like biannually fucking releasing something called the Equinox, which was like a series of publications that serves as the official organ of the AA, the magical order founded by Aleister Crowley. And it was just articles about occultism and magic, while several issues contained poetry, fiction, plays, artwork, and biographies. It was kind of like a magazine, almost.
Yeah.
The Equinox, which he released twice a year. Anyway, fast forward like a couple years. This is where he brings Newberg to fucking Algeria and brings him into the Sahara.
Yeah.
This is the funny story.
Gave him a good dicking.
So, okay, in November 1909, Crowley and Newberg traveled to Algeria, touring the desert from El Arba to Almal Bausata, and then Dale Atin, which... with Crowley reciting the Quran on a daily basis. During the trip, he invoked the 30 Aethers of Enochian magic, with Newberg recording the results. Later published in the Equinox as The Vision and The Voice, following a mountaintop sex magic ritual, Crowley also performed an invocation to the demon Coronzon.
That sounds
involving blood sacrifice.
Yeah.
Considering the results to be a watershed in his magical career. Basically, I don't know, they're not going into this in here, but let me talk about that sex magic ritual. So, basically, let me go ahead and run this down for you guys. Aleister Crowley and Newberg, they were like, hey, we're going to travel from town to town until we hit the Sahara to perform basically, I think one of the guys said in one of the documentaries that they think he might have brought him out to the Sahara as a form of a sensory deprivation. Yeah. Because it's all silence and there's nothing around, no society, there's nothing to distract you.
Yeah.
But they had visited a couple towns, and guess what? So Crowley used to dress up in a turban and a bunch of gems to look like a fucking magician.
Yeah.
Right? And he used to fucking he made Newberg shave his head completely down. And he used to put him in a leash and have Newberg walk around town.
Oh my god, that was his gimp?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's, what the fuck?
Until they eventually they went kind of like town to town until they reached the Sahara. In which they reached the Sahara, they made a magic circle. And now, if you understand anything about magic, basically the magic circle is to protect you from the demons.
Yeah.
Crowley was like, fuck that, I'm stepping out of the circle. And he got out of the circle, and Newberg stayed inside the circle or some shit. and they fucked. They fucked at the same time too.
Yeah.
And he basically gave Newberg like PTSD.
Nice.
And Newberg was the active participant in the sex magic. And basically Newberg was supposed to fuck Crowley, and Crowley was just the bottom. But apparently he power bottomed, and I heard this is a quote from fucking last podcast on the left when I listened to them talk about Aleister Crowley.
Yeah.
He power bottomed Newberg so hard that he gave him PTSD. And so put that into perspective. Imagine that's like fucking like you know how
That's
most girls
shit right there.
you know how most girls are of the submissive archetype there. Okay?
Yeah.
That'd be like one of them fucking you so hard that when you were done you're like, "Oh. I don't like this anymore." It's like think about that. Think about it. So that's how fucked up Aleister Crowley was. To put into perspective. Anyway, during that little sex thing, Crowley discovered that sex magic was the way to go. After that, that was his like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
this is the shortcut to learning fucking magic, dude.
Just fucking
Just go and bang.
Just go around power bombing guys.
Yeah, just go power bottom. Go power bottom.
Oh,
go
power
fuck.
bottom.
Yeah. Well, it was like he basically learned that. Well, in his opinion, was that I guess there's a lot of like ritual and practice that goes into summoning demons and shit. Apparently, and I know some black magic like pagan or some shit's gonna come on here and comment on this, maybe because telling me I'm wrong. But I think Aleister Crowley in that sex magic ritual was like, this is like a shortcut. You don't need to do all that practice. You just need to fuck like an animal, and eventually you'll do magic. You'll be shooting fucking lightning out your fingertips. What the fuck, dude?
Oh my god.
And
this guy was fucking retarded.
dude, I just want to get to the end. I just want to talk about this guy so I can like rag on him, dude. I'm gonna be real with you. So also during that time, I think him and his wife there also kind of grew apart. I wonder why. And he met. This is where he met
fucking gave her
Mary
PTSD,
Desty.
too.
Mary Desty in Paris, and dude, this guy's all over the fucking place. I actually hate it.
Yeah, he's everywhere in the fucking world.
He was just in the goddamn Sahara.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. So she became his next Scarlet Woman. So that's I don't know what the Scarlet Woman even is to him. I'm looking it up right now. Is a goddess found in the mystical system of Thelema, which it was established in Aleister Crowley. Her name. She represents the female sexual impulse. That's basically it.
Basically, it was something he made up.
Yeah. Him making someone his Scarlet Woman was like, you're gonna fuck me a lot, okay? That was literally it. But just about.
But you get a cool title.
I guess. Okay. Then there's like involvement in the OTO. Jesus Christ, this is so fucking long, dude.
I would like to point out, we all seen how ugly this motherfucker is. I'd really like to see.
Yeah, I know.
I'd really like to see all the chicks that fucked him. Like,
Dude, they had to be haggard fucking old women or something. I don't know, because he was gruesome. There's no other way to say it. He was fucking gruesome. Even when he was young, he was gruesome.
Yeah, this guy, he looked kind of, he looks like
Gruesome.
as I said before, he looks like he should have been in a monster movie, like back in the day.
Yeah, he looks like he would be a creepy butler.
Yeah,
he looks like he'd be a creepy butler. He looks like the kind of guy who would never blink and hold the little platter. And as soon as you enter the home, welcome to Mr. Richman's estate.
Rich man's estate.
Would you like a drink? No. Okay.
I will power bottom you.
I will Imagine if that was the next thing to come out of his mouth, dude. I will power bottom you. I will fuck you so hard.
You'll get PTSD.
Okay. Let's take the drink. All right. So, in 1912 to 14, basically, okay. So in 1912, Crowley published the Book of Lies, a work of mysticism that biographer Lawrence Sutin described as his greatest success in merging his talents as poet, scholar, and magus. The German occultist Theodor Roos later accused him of publishing some of the secrets of his own occult order, the Ordo Templi Orientis, the OTO, which I think is relevant in some of today's like secret societies shit. I'm not 100% sure. The OTO, you ever heard of them?
No.
Oh. Well, anyway, Crowley convinced Roos that the similarities were coincidental and the two became friends. Roos appointed Crowley as head of the OTO's British branch, the Mysteria Mystica Maxima, the MMM. And at a ceremony in Berlin, Crowley adopted the magical name Baphomet and was proclaimed X, Supreme Rex and Sovereign Grand Master General of Ireland, Iona, and all of the Britons. With Roos's permission, Crowley set about advertising the MMM and rewriting many of OTO's rituals, which were based largely on Freemasonry. His incorporation of Thalamite elements proved controversial in the group. Fascinated by the OTO's emphasis on sex magic, Crowley devised magical working based on anal sex and incorporated it into the syllabus for those OTO members who had been initiated into the 11th degree.
Nice.
Dude, there's so much weird shit in this. It's really hard to fucking keep this shit straight. Dude,
he was a freaky dude. Fucking rock star.
During this time, actually, he traveled with a group of people called the Ragged Ragtime Girls, a group of female violinists led by Waddle as they performed at London's Old Tivoli Theatre. They subsequently performed in Moscow for 6 weeks, where Crowley had a sadomasochistic relationship with Hungarian Annie Ringler. In Moscow, Crowley continued to write plays and poetry, including Hymn to Pan and the Gnostic Mass, a themelic ritual that became a key part of OTO liturgy. Churton suggested that Crowley had traveled to Moscow on the orders of British... There's more British intelligence bullshit. I don't care about that.
I'm pretty sure this fucking guy was in Steel Panther at one point or something.
Dude.
Holy shit, dude.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's like Michael Starr's dad or something.
Whatever. All I know is that at the end of 1914, Newberg, the guy who power bottomed into having PTSD, was like... fucking the biggest pussy ever, dude. Fucking he began to
No, it sounds like he probably had the biggest asshole ever.
Yeah.
Well, no. Yeah. Well, Crowley did because he was the bottom. Newberg fucked him. He under Crowley's orders.
Oh my god!
That's what it means to be a power bottom, dude.
Oh my god! I'm not down with the lingo. What the fuck, dude?
So the other dude got PTSD
from fucking Alice.
Fucking him.
Yeah, think about that.
Wow.
I thought we were talking about he got
I thought Crowley fucking.
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh my
Imagine being the dominant one and then getting PTSD. Imagine fucking a woman and then she fucked you so hard because you fucked her so hard that you were like, you like you were one of those people who sit in the back of the ambulance with the blanket on, and you're like,
holy shit.
Yeah, well, basically in 1914, fucking Newberg was like, that dude, I'm fucking done with this. And then Crowley cursed him. Nothing came about it, but apparently Newberg lived in like fear of Crowley ever since he.
I don't fucking blame him.
Yeah, I don't fucking blame him either. If I ever had anything to do with Crowley, I'd be afraid he'd fucking come to kill me in my sleep for fun because he was fucking retarded.
Wow.
And then he'd probably fuck you.
Yeah. No, he'd make you fuck him.
Yeah.
Power bottom.
In 1914 to 1919, I remember this part distinctly. Crowley lived in the United States for a little while, for like 5 years, yeah, and 5 or 6 years, and he settled
down in one country for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, think about that. In the fucking U.S., that goes to show you how cool the U.S. is, right, guys? Fucking Aleister Crowley loved it here. Anyway, he was a writer. Right after he didn't move to the United States until he tried becoming a fucking writer for the British propagandist or something like that.
Yeah.
He was trying to become a British pro-British war guy during the World War I.
They didn't want nothing to do with
Yeah, they were like, dude, you're fucking cracked out. Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. So he was like, fine, I'm going to fucking America. And he went to fucking America. And under his own words, this is his own words here, and I'm glad I don't have to read this part and go through all this shit because I'm summarizing this crazy.
Yeah.
So before America was involved in the war, we had pro-German journalists here, I guess you'd say, that wrote about the war, pro-German, that were trying to get people to support the Germans.
Yeah.
And in the First World War, so before the Nazis, so calm down, people.
Yeah.
Although we did support the Nazis at one point.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. So basically, fucking Crowley began... He came to this fucking German journalist place as... pretending he was an Irish anti-imperialist. Like, he hated the Queen and everything.
Yeah,
He pretended he was Irish and anti-imperialist. And that he... so he started writing articles and doing, like kind of like, you know, in those old movies where people would stand on the soapbox and be like, gather round, yeah. He kind of did something like that. And I forget where he had done it. Did he do it? Yeah, in front of the Statue of Liberty. He did it in New York.
Oh, good place.
And he was like, he literally said, in quote,
I'm going to power bottom all of America.
hold on, hold on.
What a fucking freak. Oh my God. Fucking power bottom. Jesus.
I'm trying to get the quote because it was really fucking funny. It was a really funny quote.
I don't know. Power bottom's pretty fucking funny.
That's not a quote.
I know, but it's just, what the fuck, dude? I the whole time I thought he was the one. Yeah. I thought he was the one fucking, nailing his gimp.
Yeah, in my head, power bottom was like he was just on the bottom. Just
He was
jackhammering up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it.
Missionary style.
What the fuck? Where's the fucking thing? I can't find it.
Oh my God. How fucking retarded is this guy?
What the fuck, dude? I can't find the quote.
I don't know, dude.
Hold on.
Oh, Fiesta.
Hold on.
Fiesta power bottom. Fucking power bottom. That's going to be like the new catchword now. It's fucking power bottom.
I'm pretty sure this episode's going to be called Aleister Power Bottom
Crowley.
Yeah.
Probably.
All right, whatever, man.
That's what he was called, man.
All right, I can't find the fucking quote for some reason.
Fucking power
it's this big
bottom.
important fucking quote, and it's nowhere. I guess never fucking mind. Okay,
Melon,
so
man.
basically, Aleister Crowley was in front of the Statue of Liberty, and he was like, yes, the Germans bombed, they bombed the fucking Britain in the Zeppelin. Yes. Sadly, they missed my aunt's house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know that one.
They missed my aunt's house. Here's her fucking address, so if you guys do it again, definitely bomb that fucking place.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did.
He also said shit about British, German fucking, submarines and blowing up shit, and it ended up happening.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. It's kind of weird. He kind of predicted it. He was like, a German fucking boat's gonna blow up American ships. Oh! Yeah. It fucking happened. So, after that, though, the British considered him a traitor, and he was like kind of taboo in Britland, in the British area. So, fucking, a lot of conspiracy theorists think he may have been involved in in the U.S.'s involvement in World War I, but I seriously fucking doubt it. That's a pretty big jump.
Yeah.
I think he just happened to hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
I think he just called something that I think was inevitably going to happen.
Yeah,
anyway.
it was bound to fucking happen.
Yeah.
I mean.
So, and after that, he did some other shit in America. Eventually, he fucking left. He went back to London, actually, in December.
Jesus
in 1919. I don't know how he fucking made it back if he was a fucking traitor.
This guy's travel miles must have been fucking
No. Hold on. Now destitute and back in London, Crowley came under attack from the tabloid John Bull, which labeled him as traitorous scum for his work with the German war effort, which he personally claimed that he was helping the British by trying to make the Germans look bad.
Yeah.
No, I think he was just stupid.
I think he was stupid as well.
And, he was actually suffering from asthma. Look at that. And the doctor prescribed him a heroin. He was already taking heroin. Whatever.
Well, nothing, a little more heroin always helps, I guess.
Yes, I totally wasn't already taking it. I totally wasn't already doing opioids. Well, anyway, this is where he came to do the Abbey of Thelema stuff, which is apparently a big place. I think this was in, where was the Abbey of Thelema? The Abbey of Thelema. This one he was in, I think this was in, it was Sicily, Italy. This is where he gets kicked out of Italy. Yeah. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I want to get to the part where he goes to Abbey. So... I'm trying to get to the important part. I'm trying to skip like the stupid filler.
Yeah, you should probably get to the important parts soon.
God fucking damn it, dude. There's so much shit. I'm actually getting frustrated doing this. I knew this was gonna happen when I was listening to the documentary, where I was like, "There's too much shit. There's actually too much stuff." I would have to do a full research week trying to get this shit under wraps.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not willing to fucking do that. Aleister Crowley's a crackhead, dude. Okay, so... You see, like, there's even shit about the sun god Ra. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Whatever. Okay, so basically he went to fucking Italy, okay? He went to Italy, and he fucking made or not made. I don't know if he made it. I don't know if he fucking just moved in. He went to Sicily, Italy, where he fucking did where he had this place called the Abbey of Thelema, which was like the place for his little like Thelemic whatever religion.
Yeah.
That didn't fucking last long because he was fucking doing crazy amounts of drugs, and he was fucking terrorizing the townsfolk, and people were afraid of him. They thought he was that creepy towns guy. And it was like the fascist government of Benito Mussolini learned of Crowley's activities, and in April 1923 he was given deportation notice forcing him to leave Italy. Without him, the abbey closed. Yeah. So anyway, he got kicked out of fucking Italy. Benito Mussolini kicked him the fuck out, and because he was terrorizing people, and he was like weird. He was kind of like a Winchester girl there, where she was like the town. She was like the town freak, except for he was actively going out and terrorizing people. He was pretty weird. Dude, this is so hard to talk about because now he's in later life now. That was most of a big part of his deal was the Abbey of Thelema.
Yeah.
And he even had a place. He had some place in Europe too, and
dude,
where
he had fucking places.
He
all
had a
over.
place in
Jesus
Europe
Christ.
where he was practicing some shit with some people, and he had like what was called a nightmare room, where he would have the people take hallucinatory drugs.
Yeah.
And he had his own artwork on the walls, and I think the artwork is still there.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that's what I was telling you. I was listening to the documentary, and a guy was walking through, and he was like...
Oh, yeah.
And like, it was like literally like a demon with a fucking dick and shit like that. It was like...
This is like Podesta level shit.
Yeah, it was kind of like Podesta artwork kind of stuff. It was like clearly sexually explicit stuff. Very nightmarish fucking... artwork.
Yeah.
And then he would have these people take hallucinatory drugs and then look at it for hours on end.
Dude,
so
this
think
guy's
about that.
Fucking whacked as fuck.
And then there was like during this Abbey of Thelema stuff, that this was also during the time where he was
It was like Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. This is where he had a whole bunch of shit going on, where he had that thing where he fucked his wife, and then right before climax he slit the goat's throat.
Yeah, slit the goat's throat.
Disgusting.
Did you come across that story? Oh my fucking god.
Then there was like he had he had like 2 or 3 wives, 4 wives. I think he said he had 4 wives, and 2 of them were related. They were sisters, and one of them supposedly put a curse on the other sister, and then so she had like a miscarriage. The one other sister had a miscarriage, and then fucking, oh dude, dude, this is. Aleister Crowley was a nutcase, and honestly, I might want to do another episode on him on a different time, talking specifically about the Book of Law, like where I get rid of all of his history. I just want to talk. I want to just talk about the Book of Law. I would like to look into him
a lot more myself because I'm curious of the fact there are so many people out there that are hardcore believers in him.
Well, because his ideals weren't necessarily weird. Like I said, when I looked into his ideals, I'm like, okay, this is the kind of stuff I believe.
Yeah.
But it's like once you look into his practices, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Fucking power bottom.
But that's what the thing is like a lot of people look into his ideals and they're like, oh fuck yeah, this is.
Yeah.
But then they don't look into the rest of it where he was slitting goat throats.
That's why all those fucking rock stars kind of gravitated to him.
Yeah.
Because basically they were living Crowley's life.
Well, if you look at in the '60s, I don't know. I think in the '60s, a lot of people looked up to Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't even know Aleister Crowley was on that Beatles artwork for Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah, he's on the cover of fucking Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
And I believe it was John Lennon who wanted him on there.
Yeah. Well, John Lennon was weird.
Yeah, I believe it was John Lennon.
But the point is that his fucking influence really stretched the fuck out. And in fact, I think he said in an excerpt one time, I think he said that he's going to become the new Christ in 1,000 years. In 1,000 years, people are going to look back at Aleister Crowley and be like, Aleister Crowley was Jesus. You know what I mean? Like how we look back at Jesus 2,000 years later.
Yeah.
As like they're like, oh yeah, he's going to be his own Jesus and fucking whatever.
Yeah.
In 1,000 years or so, which I don't think is the case. I actually think he's just a fad right now, personally. But there's some more shit. He was in Tunisia, Paris, and London again between the years 1923 and 1929. So over the course of like 6 fucking years, he was in 3 different fucking countries. What the fuck, man? So he had like health issues and he tried giving up heroin.
I can't believe he didn't have like fucking dude. I can't believe a venereal disease didn't kill him. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I didn't even know they had. I didn't even know they had treatment for like gonorrhea and stuff like that back then. I thought that predated that.
I think it's the same as now. They just fucking jack you up with tons of fucking penicillin and it fucking wipes it out.
Well, I don't know if that. I didn't know if they had that medical. Yeah. Well, anyway, he was also alive during the Second World War. Actually, did you know? Wow. Hold on.
Yeah, what did he do in the Second World War?
I'm reading it. I'm reading it just I'm reading 1930 to 1938. He was in Berlin in 1930. In April 1930, Crowley moved to Berlin, where he took Hanni Jaeger as his magical partner. The relationship was troubled. In September,
1930. That was already Nazi Germany then.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to think. He was invited by Harry Price to speak at the National Laboratory of Psychical Research. Do you know anything about that?
No.
I don't know if you know anything about the psychical research stuff.
Google psychical research quick. I just want to see if it ties into. I just want to see if it ties into the
Vril Society.
Yeah, I'm curious.
The National Laboratory of Psychical Research.
Yeah. I wonder if that's got anything to do with the Vril.
Yeah, I'm wondering too.
And what was that woman's name? Madame Blavatsky or something like that?
I don't remember. She wasn't even like nobody even knows if she was real or not.
Who?
The lady who led it, the Vril Society. Like, I don't even think they had any like real documentation on her. I think.
No, I don't think they do.
Yeah, I think it's just.
They have pictures.
It's speculated if she's real or not.
Yeah.
Well, no, they don't have pictures of her. They have drawings of her.
Well, I thought they had pictures, but they weren't sure if it was her.
No, they don't have pictures of her. They only have drawings, I think.
No. I said actually it's Madame Blavatsky, and she was a Russian occultist.
Yeah. Madame Blavatsky the one that taught Hitler a bunch of stuff when he went to?
I don't know. She co-founded
because didn't Hitler go to like Shangri-La and everything and then learn about that?
No,
stuff?
he didn't go personally.
He had somebody go. That's right.
Who the hell was it? I think it was Himmler. It might have been Himmler.
Yeah.
Who set.
And then he got taught from that lady
Blavatsky.
Yeah, he learned stuff about her publications and her stuff like that, and then he brought back stuff supposedly about like master race Aryan stuff, which was. But that's a different.
She founded this society right here. Whatever the fuck that says.
Where is it? Theosophical.
Theosophical.
Yeah. No. Yeah, Hitler took a lot of fucking inspiration from her.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking.
Yeah, that's the one then.
Yeah.
Okay, but this chick she's not has nothing to do with the Vril.
Yeah. Crowley was intrigued by the rise of Nazism in Germany and influenced by his friend Martha Kunzel, believed that Adolf Hitler might convert to Thelema. That's Aleister Crowley's thing. When the Nazis abolished the German OTO and imprisoned Germer, who fled to the U.S., Crowley then lambasted Hitler as a black magician.
So Hitler was a black.
Well, that's what Crowley said. Well, Crowley never wanted to admit it, but Crowley was a black magician. I mean, technically, by technicality, but whatever.
I know he was a bottom pounder or whatever.
Power bottom?
A power bottom guy.
What the fuck is wrong with Crowley? When the Second World War broke out, Crowley wrote to the Naval Intelligence Division offering his services. The fuck? What are you offering? What are you going to give him? Demons?
Oh, he's gonna fucking power bottom everybody.
I'll power bottom fucking Adolf Hitler.
Huh. Dead silence.
Cricket.
Well, because I'm reading right now. I'm reading stuff that I didn't know about fucking Aleister Crowley, man.
I don't think you couldn't read enough to fucking know about him. Yeah. There's so many facets to his life. It's
dude, I jumped into something I don't think I was ready for. I think I need to do more research on Aleister Crowley before I fucking do like a real podcast on him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, man. That's about it. He died. I forget when Crowley died. I think he died in 1947.
Yeah, it was right after the war.
Yeah, it was 47.
It was 47.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm reading about his death right now.
Should have died of fucking AIDS or something.
In April 1944, briefly moved to Buckinghamshire, where he visited the poet Nancy Cunard. He was also introduced to John Symonds, who he appointed his literary executor. Symonds thought little of Crowley, later publishing negative biographies of him, corresponding with the illusionist Arnold Crowther. It was thought through him Crowley introduced Gerald Gardner, future founder of Gardnerian Wicca. They became friends with Crowley, corresponding illusionist. On December 1st, 1947, Crowley died at Netherwood of chronic bronchitis, aggravated by pleurisy, also known as pleuritis. It's an inflammation of the membranes that surround the lungs and the lined chest cavity. This could result in sharp chest pain with breathing. Occasionally, the pain may be a constant dull ache. Okay. His funeral was at a Brighton crematorium on 5th of December. About a dozen people attended, and Lewis Wilkinson read excerpts from the Gnostic Mass, Book of Law, and Hymn to Pan. The funeral generated press controversy and was labeled Black Mass by tabloids. Crowley's ashes were sent to Carl Germer in the U.S., who buried him in his garden in Hampton, New Jersey.
Huh.
So that was the end of Aleister Crowley there. I know that sounds a little bit...
He ended up in a garden in New Jersey.
Whatever. It's not, honestly, post Italy, honestly sounds like Crowley just died out as a person. He didn't really do anything crazy. He didn't. He really just died down after the Abbey of Thelema.
He ran out of things to do.
Yeah, well, no, I think once he blew through
he got old, too.
Once he blew through all his fucking money.
He wasn't rich anymore.
I listened to a thing where someone said what was really his downfall mentally, which was a huge impact on his life, was that through all his bullshit, his magic, that shit, the crazy fucking world he lived in, it all revolved around the sex. And
well, you want my honest opinion?
But
listen, I know about the history of Aleister Crowley. Let me say this real quick. I am aware of I know I just had to read through all this shit, but I'm aware of basically of what he's done. I know more. I know more than what the Wikipedia said. I know it sounds like I didn't, but I seriously did. I listened to a 2-hour long documentary, and I listened to a couple other documentaries as well. So I'm aware of what he's done, the practices that he did, and I know what drugs he was fucking taking. And honestly, I'll talk. This is what I ultimately wanted to come to for this podcast. I want to talk about what I thought of Aleister Crowley, because a lot of people take him very serious.
Wait. Before you go there, what I was going to say was that what inevitably was his end, that's a woman had said, was the fact that, because everything with him revolved around sex. That's the magic. It was the sex.
Well, that plays into what I have to say.
But his dick stopped working.
Really?
Yeah.
What year? Do you know what time?
I forget what year she said.
Can you give me a generalization?
What generalize what?
Like what generalize what year? Like, do you know what about?
It would have been one of his last relationships. With some woman that he tried to. They wanted to have a kid or something, and they couldn't.
Yeah.
They tried for months and months and months because his fucking dick ran dry. And she said that was kind of like, that's when he kind of like, because his whole life was based around.
So you think like he got like fixed almost after that? Like, is that when he calmed down?
No.
Brain got fixed, he's saying.
Oh, his brain?
Yeah.
This woman said she thought that's when he started thinking more normal, because he actually quit using drugs too. Well, he tried. So
this was after the Abbey of Thelema.
Yeah.
This was like 1930s.
Yeah. He didn't use drugs for fucking months and months.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't get pregnant.
Okay.
And then after a while, then his dick just stopped. He didn't have the
virility.
Yeah, he didn't have the virility anymore.
Yeah.
And according to this woman, that was like a huge fucking thing for him.
Yeah.
Because his whole life was about the sex.
Sex magic.
And bottom power or whatever it was called.
Power bottom.
Power bottom. I can't get that word right now. Okay, yes.
This is what I wanted to come to with this. Dude, you know what, guys? I'll do another episode about Aleister Crowley in the future, when we hit episode 666.
Wow.
No, but...
You're in for the long haul.
But I do have to say, I will do a better one at some point where I'll actually put down some research. This was, for me, it was
There's so much to research.
I put in approximately 3 hours worth of research. Yeah. That was my research time, guys. 3 hours. What I usually do when I listen to a documentary, I listen to it 2 or 3 times so I remember the information.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to this one a couple times, but because there was so much information that there's no way for me to remember it. Even then, though, I wanted to come to this point because, you know, if you're listening to this, you might already know a lot about Aleister Crowley. And if you want my personal fucking opinion, I think that I think he's no different from every other cult leader that was weird. I said to Jake last night, I actually said to him, this reminds me of L. Ron Hubbard. This almost sounds like an identical story to L. Ron Hubbard, but on a grander scale. Because he literally just influenced people. He was a writer, so he was good with wordplay and influencing people. And then he was surrounded by people who were constantly on opioids and cocaine all the time. And that's another thing I compared him to. David Bowie, when he did Station to Station, David Bowie had cocaine psychosis. If you take too much cocaine, you can suffer from cocaine psychosis, where you literally hallucinate because you're going off the deep end. Dude, Aleister Crowley, for almost pretty much since he had gone into Cambridge, was on drugs all the time. He was constantly doing fucking drugs. Constantly doing cocaine and opioids. The guy was off of his fucking rocker. He was seeing shit. Just because he was seeing shit doesn't mean it was fucking real, though. Now, a lot of people like to take Aleister Crowley seriously, and they like to look at his Book of Law as like, wow, this is really like the libertarian... This is a big libertarian thing. And I agree. Book of Law has a lot of good libertarian statements in it. There's a lot of like... It's pretty much... It's basically like... I forget what the big saying is. But it has a lot of good statements in it. But it's like... Him himself and his personal beliefs in the occult were completely off the fucking rocker. They were unreasonable. he genuinely believed that he's seen and heard things, but that's because he was fucking coked out all the time.
Yeah. And
on fucking opioids all the fucking time. And a lot of people think that, like, a lot of people who are really into the Luciferian, like, real stuff, like the quote unquote left hand path stuff that I talk about, and people who think that the chaos magic is like real, like, they're
on cocaine too.
No, but these people think that that Aleister Crowley was, dude, he definitely seen some stuff, and he definitely he knows.
That's
and it's crazy to me because that means that you're disregarding the fact that he was completely drugged the fuck out.
Yeah.
In a time where all he was surrounded by was people who were also drugged out.
Yep.
And that goes to show with the Golden Dawn stuff. It goes to show with the let me look it up real quick what the name of that thing was. Fucking
Power Bottom?
No.
Is that what it's called? Power Bottom?
Yes.
Dude, that's fucked up, man.
Okay. When he did the Abramelin ritual where you summon the demons and you like fucking you don't eat or sex for fucking 6 months.
Yeah.
When he fucking cut that off halfway, apparently weird by his and George Cecil Jones. I think it's him.
His fucking names are retarded.
Yeah, I know. But apparently by their fucking accounts, weird shit was happening in their house. That's because they were fucking high, dude. It's like, and that's what a lot of people who are into like the whole magic thing think. Here's the thing, though. I'll talk about magic real quick. I think right hand path is retarded. It's not real. I think left hand path is retarded. It's not real. Summoning of demons and all that stuff, I don't think it's real. I think it's all a matter of suggestion. I think what chaos magic is, quote unquote chaos magic, and a quick explanation for you guys, is basically imparting your will on something to make something that you want happen.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what I think chaos magic is? I think it's a psychological trick. I think it's basically you instead of because you have self-esteem issues.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people who have self-esteem issues use this kind of shit.
Yeah.
I think it's so that you don't leave it up to yourself, so that you pretend that it's something else driving you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So that you don't, because if you think it's yourself driving yourself, you think of failure. Mm-hmm. But when you think it's some higher being doing it,
you don't think of failure.
You think that you're definitely doing it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I think the idea of chaos magic is merely just being an impressionist.
Yeah.
Basically. And that's what a lot of people look at David Bowie. Like I listened to that last podcast on the left David Bowie episode where they were talking about, oh, he was a chaos magician. He was just casting spells. No, I think he was just a very good impressionist.
Yeah.
He was extremely charismatic to the point where he was able to impart his will onto people because he could, because his charisma and his personality was so large.
Do you think David Bowie ever power bottom Freddie Mercury?
Yes. I think Freddie Mercury was definitely the active role there. Freddie Mercury with that fucking mustache, dude, he was too manly. Well, dude, this was really a mess of a fucking topic for me because I didn't know where to go with this.
Yeah, I listened to a bunch of shit and it's like, oh my god, dude, it's so like I said, the fucking guy lived like these rock stars live.
Yeah.
So it would almost be like putting together.
It's like
dude, think of the nastiest, sluttiest band out there, Motley Crue. This would be like trying to piece together,
to keep track of all the drugs they took, all the people they fucked, and all the fucking people they met.
Yeah,
there's so much shit.
Cities they went
to.
There's
so much shit.
Fucking dude,
there's no way to keep track of it all and keep it all organized. It's like trying,
dude, and they, damn well they don't remember. So. Jesus.
Well, here's what I think. I think I can do an episode about him, but I actually have to put in like real research, and it might even be a 2-part fucking thing. I would have to do.
I would almost have to be 2 parts.
And fucking. Yeah, I think I'll do it again at some point where I actually put some work into it. But as far as I'm concerned right now, it's like all I could do is watch a couple documentaries go through the fucking Wikipedia, talk about this guy's history and his fucking beliefs and some of the stupid shit he did. And it's like, and just give my theory about who he was. And it's very simple, man. As soon as I started listening more and more about him, I just think he was just like L. Ron Hubbard and Charles Manson, man. Yeah. They had troubled past, but they were very charismatic people. So they were able to influence people and make people do what they wanted to do. Like, look at that fucking story where he literally went to a Golden Dawn, like, office thing, and he literally just took over.
Yeah.
He just went in and took over.
Took it over. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Okay, I got something I want to throw in here for you.
Go ahead.
Which is really going to fucking fuck things up.
Oh, yeah. Are we talking about the Barbara
yeah, the last couple of years, there's been a story going around the internet. There's a couple documentaries that talk about it. So in 1924, this woman, Pauline Pierce, she took a trip over to France. She was married to this dude, Marvin Pierce, but she took a trip to France by herself to see her friend, Nellie. I forget her fucking last name. Nellie. She went there to visit her friend Nellie. She stayed there for a couple weeks or whatever. Nellie's man, Frank Harris, he happened to be good friends with Aleister Crowley. Okay, so the four of these people shacked up in the same flat for a while. Okay, now Pauline Pierce is actually Barbara Bush of Bush I Did 9/11 fame. Pauline Pierce was Barbara Bush's mother.
Yeah.
Okay. So Barbara Bush's mother was hanging out with Aleister Crowley.
And she
was married.
And she 8 months later, after coming back home,
she
gave birth. So she was 8 months. She was already 9 months in when she was already a month in by the time she got home. Basically. She got knocked up by somebody over there, potentially Aleister Crowley.
Yeah. So she came back in October 24, and oh wow, that's my mom's birthday. On June 8th, 1925, she gave birth to Barbara, who would later become Barbara Bush.
Yeah. Now, we don't know for sure if she's Aleister Crowley's kid.
It would explain a lot.
Well, we don't know for sure. But
Did you see the picture I posted on the podcast? You got to look at the picture. Mike, if you can pull it up quick. There's a picture I posted on the podcast page of Aleister Crowley next to Barbara Bush. And maybe this is why the whole thing... There's not a lot of facts to back this up.
Well, here's the thing.
There's a couple facts here and there to back it up.
Because nobody admitted to it first things
Look
first.
at that.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, they look like the same person.
They do.
They look like
That's besides the point.
Aleister Crowley looks like Barbara Bush.
She could have got knocked up by somebody else. You never know.
Yeah.
She could have had sex with somebody else. It could have been anybody of that group.
Yeah.
But the point is that we already know that Aleister Crowley was a sex pervert.
Yeah.
He fucked all the time.
Yeah, dude,
and if he was surrounded by people, he was fucking them.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he was known to fuck people's wives, by the way.
Yeah, and he got off on that. So,
yeah.
And this woman, Barbara Bush's mom, she was already married.
Yeah. So it's possible. There's definitely a possibility there, and there's like a real historical possibility that she actually.
It would explain a lot.
And it's funny because if you look at Barbara Bush, her mother doesn't come up. When you look at the only thing that comes up is her father.
Yeah, you
Marvin Pierce.
really got to dig for it. I actually dug for the name Pauline Pierce, and actually it was Robinson before it was Pierce. It was Pauline Robinson was her
before she was
name.
with Marvin.
Yeah. So yeah, Aleister Crowley could have did 9/11. Shit, man.
Indirectly.
Mindfuck. He power bottomed. No, I won't say that.
He power bottomed the World Trade Center.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he power bottomed the World Trade
Whatever
Center.
that means, man.
Yeah, I don't know. But
so I mean, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. That this episode was like fucked up and disorganized.
Dude, this is our last two episodes.
Yeah.
Have been so...
Next episode, I'm doing something easy.
Yeah.
I'm doing an easy one next
Yeah,
time.
I'm not going to do... I've decided I'm not going to do Trump Space Force
Part 2.
Part 2 next.
We will follow it up eventually.
Yeah, we will. I promise I'll follow it up.
We need a palate cleanser, dude. We need a palate cleanser episode.
Yeah, I'm going to go to a pedo next week.
Okay, that's not a palate cleanser. That's like...
How's that not a palate cleanser?
I'm talking about a pedo? That's so depressing.
Yeah, but it's... I don't know.
That's like yeah, I just drank a whole 6-pack of beer. Now I'm going to drink a whole fucking glass of whiskey. It's like that's my palate cleanser instead of having a glass of water.
Well, I'm gonna do pedos next week. I'm gonna go back to what I know. And
I'm gonna
do
something fun.
If I know one thing, I know pedos.
Oh yeah, the week after that's gonna be a talking episode, just a regular one.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that will be the palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I've been trying really hard to just find a soundboard of Ozzy just saying Mr. Crowley, and I can't find it.
Yeah.
Well,
It doesn't exist.
whatever.
Since I can't play the whole damn song.
Yeah.
I just wanted him saying Mr. Crowley. Can't find it.
I don't know.
Oh, we could say we mentioned before Jimmy Page had Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin. He had bought Aleister Crowley's house, and then it fucking burnt down.
Are you sure Aleister Crowley or Anton LaVey?
Oh, it was Aleister Crowley.
Okay.
Yeah. He bought one of his houses, I guess. Yeah. Apparently he had a bunch of them.
Maybe we should talk about Anton LaVey because he's involved with Crowley, because he's the successor of like Satanism.
Yeah.
And he had a lot to do with Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, but honestly, I think Antoine LaVey is a little more defined than Aleister Crowley.
And he's a lot more organized.
Yeah.
And he didn't do a bunch of crazy shit.
Yeah.
And it's easier to fucking talk about.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. This was like doing an Alien episode. There's so many branching off things, and he did like a million things, and he went to like fucking 28 million places.
Yeah. Antoine LaVey would be a good one.
Yeah.
Because then we can, work in Manson, Marilyn
I
Manson.
think we could have Antoine on as a special.
Yeah, I do.
This is all bullshit.
I'd have to find him again.
And then we can talk about how Chelsea Clinton follows the World Church of Satan on Twitter or whatever. That's pretty funny.
I'm pretty sure it was a joke. From what I had seen, it was that people were comparing them, and then they ended up following each other.
It was a joke that they followed each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least I don't know. At least she wasn't raping babies. I don't know. I don't know if she rapes babies. I don't know the family traditions in the Clinton household. So, but yeah, I'm definitely going back to pedos next week.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that I'm gonna get that good taste in my mouth. It's good taste. That's gonna be a real nice one. I can't wait to be angry the whole episode.
Yeah.
As if you guys didn't know,
pedos
literally
taste
every
like,
time
Jim?
we talk about pedophiles, we just get angry.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's fun. It always ends up being fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's like getting punched in the face. It's fun.
But maybe I'll change my mind. I don't know.
We'll see.
I'm thinking pedo.
So are we gonna talk about Roman Polanski?
Dude, Roman Polanski is a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah,
dude.
I fucking hate him.
He is a piece of shit.
Come on, man. He didn't rape that girl.
Oh, he didn't rape. Well, you gotta say what's rape. Who the fuck is Whoopi Goldberg?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who the fuck is she?
It's funny.
She had one fucking movie that was fucking decent, and that's just because fucking Patrick fucking Swayze.
I just hate how
was
she
in it.
talks as if she's like the wise old woman of The View. Like, shut up.
She's
know
like
shit.
the fucking Oracle from the Matrix.
Yeah, it's like she makes everybody
Stupid
shut up when
bitch.
she talks. She's like, "All right, everybody, all right, here's my opinion, my strong opinion." And it's like, that's not. Listen,
Dude, didn't she have sex with Ted Danson back in the day? That's fucking gross. I don't know what he was thinking. He must have been on that shit Crowley was on.
whatever. Okay, I guess the episode's just
Maybe
about
she was a
fucking
power
finished.
bottom.
What's that?
Maybe she was a power bottom.
Dude, she fucking probably power bottom fucking Ted Danson. Fucking weirdo. I fucking hate her.
Podcast is just about done.
I didn't say bitch this episode. I hate that
Good job.
bitch.
Good, okay.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna give the social medias. Okay, so if you
Wow,
want-
you're fucking calling it, dude.
yeah, because
You're
you know
fucking calling it.
because I'm a little bit exhausted from doing this. My brain hurts.
Well, yeah, you
My brain's a little bit fried.
Yeah.
Guys, I promise you I'll do a better episode of fucking Aleister Crowley someday. Just not today. I really just wanted to hate on the guy because I personally don't really like him and I don't understand the obsession.
And there's a huge obsession with him.
I'm not saying he was a bad, he did some bad things, but...
Dude, you know what he reminds me of? That fucking crackhead that used to hang out down at the fucking Turkey Hill with the chair on his head.
Yeah.
That's what I think of now when I think of Aleister Crowley.
Well, Aleister Crowley...
I think of a fucking crackhead on his bicycle.
I think he was very smart, and I think he had some pretty cool ideals. I think he was okay. I think he did some questionable things. But, like, I just don't understand why people think of him as, like, this next level, like, genius, fucking, like, the end-all, be-all of fucking... magician people.
Yeah, I don't.
And it's like I don't see it. I don't see the. If I were to meet Aleister Crowley today, if he was still alive, and I met with him, and me and him were alone in the room, he'd probably power bottom me.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
If we compare,
but if I could actually like legitimately talk to him, I don't think he would have an impression on me. I don't think I would be like some of these people who like fall under his spell.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people fall under Aleister Crowley's spell.
Yeah.
It's like I don't get it.
If
I might think he's an interesting person, but I wouldn't be like, I need to fucking sacrifice goats now.
Yeah. if I had to compare him to because there's magic involved.
Yeah.
And this is all I know about magic.
Uh-huh.
If I had to compare him to a character from Harry Potter, it would probably be Harry Potter's cousin.
Who's Harry Potter's cousin?
That fucking dumb little kid. Fucking.
He had nothing to do with magic.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know, he's probably all jealous. Fucking like later in life, he's probably all jealous of fucking Harry. So he probably got into fucking heroin. Banging up on the streets.
Yeah, my fucking mom and dad ended up loving Harry more after he came back from fucking Hogwarts.
Yeah. Fucking Hogwarts.
I don't know.
Fucking Crowley.
I think Crowley would definitely be somebody I'd be interested in as a person, but I definitely wouldn't be like, this guy is really fucking smart.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
and I'm gonna call it. I think he's George Bush's grandfather.
I think there's a high possibility.
That makes sense.
It's a high possibility. I don't know why they don't just talk about it.
The episode's gonna be called Aleister Powerbottom Crowley Bush.
Aleister Powerbottom did 9/11 Crowley.
Okay, that's the name.
No, we can't put did 9/11 in there.
Yeah, we can.
Fuck it, who cares? No one's gonna listen.
I'll put it in there.
No one's gonna listen anyway. Like 4 fucking people are gonna listen.
Watch this be the breakaway episode.
Oh, that's fucking retarded. All right.
I impart my will through chaos magic to make us popular. Thank you, please.
Did you draw a circle and step inside the circle?
Yeah, let's just say I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is weird because there was an episode of SpongeBob where he did that.
Yeah, doesn't he have to make a line with salt or something?
He had to stay inside the circle or that thing.
Yeah.
That thing would get him, and it ended up getting Squidward because Squidward's like, I ain't standing inside no fucking circle. Yeah, and then the thing fucked Squidward all up.
That's pretty good. Whatever.
All right, do this fucking shit.
Okay. Our Twitter, if you want to check us out on Twitter, we're at Drinking a Theory. No spaces or anything. It's time for work. Anyway, our Twitter is at Drinking a Theory. No spaces, no capitals. Just at Drinking a Theory. Our podcast name is what it is. So you'll know it. You'll see it. My Twitter is at Jimmy Bones My Guy. Each first letter of each word is capitalized, but I don't think that matters. Our Instagram, if you want to check us out on Instagram, we're drink_and_a_theory_podcast. We're on SoundClouds. We're on iTunes. We're on Facebook. We're on Stitcher. Check us out. If you can, it'd be really nice if you spread the word. If you don't have to be out there and telling everybody. But if you have a friend and they're like, oh yeah, I'm trying to look for a new podcast. Oh, I want to listen to something for fucking break.
If you want to hear shit completely retarded.
It's like, yeah, guy, I listen to these people drinking a theory. Check them out. Just every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. So check us out on Twitter.
Oh, thanks to anyone who's listening that fucking followed us on Facebook too.
Yeah.
Like,
If you guys
I
followed
think
us on Facebook and then actually went into the actual podcast, then thanks. Keep
Because
listening.
yeah, we're actually close to that 200 mark.
Yeah.
And we're very close to 1,000
Listens. Yeah, we're in like the 900s.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
Yeah,
You have to figure we've only
So
we've only been operating for 3 months.
yeah, and we only got 13 episodes. So
It's not bad.
I want to give my Twitter too.
You're finally giving out your Twitter.
Yeah. It's at JONNY capital M421. Hit me up.
Who is that?
This week, that's my Twitter.
Okay. Go check him out, I guess.
That's a motherfucker who put me on the list.
All right, guys. That's the fucking episode. I'll see you guys next week. We're going to talk about pedophiles and get angry together. So,
All right.
see you guys later. And I'm going to try out an outro. And remember,
Wow.
drink.
Do you need a beat? I can give you a beat.
No. Oh,
No,
give me a
I'm
beat with your
serious.
mouth. Give me a beat with your mouth.
No, I can give you a beat.
Okay, go ahead.
How do I do it?
Go ahead, man. You give me a beat. No, that's the intro.
I turned it all down. I guess I...
Come on, no beat, man.
D to the R to the A.
There's your beat, bro.
D to the R to the I to the M to the K. And a theory. Yeah. Okay, bye. I'm done.
You just powerbombed that.
Okay, guys. See you later. See you next week. We're going to talk about pedophiles. Bye.